All right, good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started with Coach. Please make sure to use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen if you have a question. Ben, go ahead.
Coach, can you talk about the decision to go with Keegan Jones on the fourth down play call there?
Yeah, he was the back that was in the game at that time, and thought we needed a yard, and Keegan's a good, solid runner for us, so we just came up a little short.
Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, what can you say about some of the one-on-ones with USC's offense, with the guys, taking on some of the top receivers and unfortunately getting either scores or big yardage?
Yeah, I mean, it was a back and forth deal, and I think our kids on defense played really well. You knew going into the game with the talented receiver core that they had that it was going to be a difficult matchup, but I thought our kids competed. But they just made one more play than we did.
Additional questions here for Coach? Ben, go ahead.
You had two pretty important special teams breakdowns, the punt and then Crawford at the end. How crucial were those?
Yeah, and in a close game like this, we knew going into it that teams had to be a big factor. I thought RJ did a great job kickoffs all day long until didn't even allow them to get a return. He was really smashing the ball, but we have to be able to cover a kick, and we didn't, especially in that situation because it was a field goal game. So you got to prevent them from getting over midfield because it was inside of 3. So we got to get that fixed.
Joe Reedy.
Chip, did their offense make what adjustments did their offense make in the second half, or was it just more a matter of your guys' mistakes?
No, I think obviously I think Keaton Slovis is one of the top quarterbacks in the nation, and I don't think anybody thought you were going to come in here and shut them out. But it was kind of a heavyweight fight. You're just trading blows, and they hit one, then we hit one, and then we hit one, and then they hit one, and then we had a shot at the end. We had the ball at the end. We got the ball at the end zone.
James Williams.
Chip, can you talk about Mo Osling's performance tonight?
Yeah, I'd have to watch this film specifically, but I love Mo because Mo competes, and I thought he was really competitive out there tonight and made some plays, had a big sack, but I couldn't give you the specifics until we really get a chance to break down the film.
Tracy Pearson.
Hey, Chip, until maybe that interception that Dorian threw, it seemed like he was having a very good game, throwing more accurately. Tell us about what you thought about his performance and if you saw more from him tonight.
Yeah, I thought Dorian played really well. He came back last week at Arizona State and really just practiced on Wednesday, missed Monday, Tuesday. So he had good training this week, and I thought it really showed. I thought he threw the ball with command. And did some really, really nice things. I don't know his final. I think 30 or 36. And 4 touchdowns. In one I thought was on our bench. It was a heck of a play by Talanoa, and I think he's one of the best, if not the best, safety in the country. It's a really good play by the kid.
Hey Clay, obviously the defense.
Just a couple more questions here for Coach.
Had a few mistakes in this half, missed tackles.
I didn't.
General soundness. What was the difference, especially coming into that second half?
Ben, go ahead.
How hard is it? You guys had leads of 28-10, 35-23, and then it looked like Nicholas was going to be the hero tonight. To give up all that in a back and forth game, how hard is it?
Anytime you lose, it's hard, and especially when you lose a close game. So there's not. I don't think you quantify. That we lost this way or we lost that way. I think it's difficult and it hurts. And it hurts because they put so much into it, and that's what we talked about in the locker room, that it really hurts. If you don't work very hard and it's really not that important to you, if you go out and lose, well, wasn't that big a deal. But this group, he's got an unbelievable work ethic and an unbelievable camaraderie and commitment to each other. And when you lose as a group like we lost tonight, it hurts.
Final one here for Coach. Tracy, go ahead.
Hey, it seems like the USC's offense, their pass protection, was able to pick up some of your pressures a little bit more effectively. Would you say that was true? And what were they doing to do that?
I thought they obviously have a system that they run, and they've been very successful, I think, against everybody they played. I mean, you watch the game against Washington State last week, they threw 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, so, when you have someone as talented as Keaton in that group of receivers, and they did a good job in the offensive line, and, you talk to Clay, they finally got everybody back and had a chance to practice this week. So, I thought they did a nice job. Tito did a nice job and split them once for a sack, and then I thought Mo had one. I don't have the numbers in front of me for the other ones, but we knew going into it, again, like I said earlier, we weren't going to shut them out. They're going to get theirs, in terms of what they do. We just had to be able to match them, and we had a shot. We had the ball at the end, but we couldn't finish it off.
All right. Thank you for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you.
We'll stand by here for a couple of student athletes. I believe first up, we will have Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So if you have a question for Dorian, you can go ahead and raise your hand now and we'll be ready to go. All right, everyone, we got Dorian Thompson-Robinson here. Questions for Dorian, please use the raise hand function. We'll go ahead and get started with Ben Bolch.
Dorian, how hard is this one to take? You guys played really well. You had a great game. Defense played well for the most part. Just a couple of special teams breakdowns, and then they made some amazing plays at the end.
Yeah, this isn't a normal game, and this isn't a normal loss. So, this one hurts. But the good thing is we get to go back on Monday and we got one more game. So we can put this one to rest after watching the film and move on to next week. So,
Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Dorian, two questions. It seemed like at times the run game kind of sputtered a bit. Can you talk about that? And also, on the opposite end, can you talk about Greg Dulcich? He came up big once again in key moments.
yeah, for the run game, I'd have to go back and look at film. I thought it was good for the most part. At some points we were off a little bit with the signals and stuff like that and trying to get guys lined up. We were going a lot of tempo and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, I got to go back and watch the film and see for the full analysis and stuff like that. So, and then with Greg, you guys know he's my roommate and stuff. So we have a wonderful connection. He's worked his tail off this whole off season and continues to, and it shows on the field and he's producing really well. And I'm really proud of him. I'm really happy for him right now.
Additional questions for Dorian? Go ahead and use the raise hand function. Ben, go ahead.
What was kind of the scene in the locker room? How did you guys kind of support each other after a tough one like this?
Yeah, I'd say it was the quietest it's ever been. But at the end of the day, Coach does a great job rallying the guys. We know it's going to hurt, obviously, but we're excited to get back there on Monday and get ready to work for next week. So.
Any other questions for Dorian tonight? All right, Dorian, we'll let you go. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sorry for the delay, everyone. Our final student athlete will be Quentin Lake. So Quentin should be here in just a minute or so. If you have questions for Quentin, go ahead and use the raise hand function. All right, everyone, questions for Quentin Lake? Please use the raise hand function. We'll go ahead and get started here. Mike.
Hey, Quentin, tough loss, and obviously you guys take it one game at a time. This definitely hurts, but what are you going to take away from this game going forward?
There were a lot of good things, especially in the first half. I think the defense played really well. But to answer your question, I think the biggest thing we got to do is just keep a level head and not get complacent. We were making a lot of plays in the first half, and I think sometimes that can get to your head, and you think you got the game, within in the palm of your hand, but obviously that wasn't the case. It's unfortunate the outcome, but there's a lot of good things that came out of it. But I think the main thing is just don't get complacent. We got to finish. That game should have been ours. Point blank period. So it's tough, but got to prepare for the next one.
Ben, go ahead.
Did you feel like they changed anything in the second half, or did you guys just not make the plays you needed to?
At the end of the day, we're the player, so we got to make the plays. There wasn't really anything in terms of their scheme. They just said, they thought their athletes were better than ours, and that was it. So, I didn't see any scheme change in terms of what they were doing.
Any other questions for Quentin here? Rick, go ahead.
How do you bounce back after a disappointing loss? Like you said, it was a very winnable game.
Yeah. It all comes down to film. Watch the film either tonight or tomorrow. Correct the things we need to correct. But yeah, we played one hell of a game. So, whether or not, the outcome, I'm very proud of the team, but, we just gotta, like I said, finish, make the plays that need to be made, just be clutch in clutch times. So, we're going to look at the film, correct the mistakes we need to correct, and then, come out ready to win next week.
How about your mentality? How do you bounce back mentally from a loss that basically, you left a win on the field? How do you bounce back from that?
I think everybody's hurt. There's no, we'll get him next time. This one hurts, especially the way it ended. But you have to look at the positive side, like I said, and just know that there were a lot of good things that came out of it, and use those good things and repeat them next week, and then correct the bad things. It's gonna be tough. This will probably be weighing on my mind for tonight and tomorrow, but just knowing I gotta come on Monday ready to work. So it's tough, but you just gotta know we have another opportunity to go out there and play football, play UCLA football again. So using that as a little kickstart to up our morale, but this one hurts. It does.
All right. Anything else for Quentin tonight? Okay, Quentin, we'll let you go. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. That's going to conclude tonight's availability. Thanks for your patience.